Hello, hello. Happy Friday. How are you all doing today? Well, I was hoping that I could come over today, start streaming, and say, look at all the progress I've made. But I guess that's not how these things go. I think I've done a little bit, but she looks pretty much the same. One of these days I'm gonna have a day where I can just sit down and work on this. But you know, if it takes a while, it's fine. It's not like I have a deadline. You guys can just keep watching the same. You work on the do things like work on the hair and rework it over and over again. Hello. Oh, I forgot to turn the music on. Let me know as always if I'm too quiet or if the music is too loud. I can't make myself much louder, but I can make the music quieter. Let me just get myself situated. I did work on her face. It's still in Uncanny Valley land. Oh my gosh, I'm throwing things everywhere. But we're getting closer to the concept. So fortunately it's hidden by a veil, so I don't have to publicly humiliate myself, but actually maybe I will, just so I can prove that I have done something since Monday. Let's see. Yeah, so she's, I don't know, I can tell there's something still different between the concept and the model. She looks, I don't know. So for the face, I'm working from this and then a little bit this. These are my two references of her actual face, so it's not much to go off of. Well, we're getting there. There's no music. There's still no music even after I played it. Oh my gosh, I thought I had it all figured out. Okay, give me a minute. The good news is I'm getting really fast at redoing this because I keep having to do it. Let me know if that fixed it. Hoping it did. Popped up and then went away again? Okay, maybe it's just too quiet then. What's that? I'm so scared to even ask. If I ignore it, it goes away, right? I can hear it just fine. Perfect. Yay! Woohoo! Alright, I'll start making it a bit louder. That'll help. How'd your session go? Sorry I couldn't make it. Did you touch grass? is it creasing? It's very strange. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't understand why these are coming increased when I'm telling it not to. Only some of them, too. Very strange. So I think how I'm going to do this is those... Oh, what is that? I guess that's just like a little gemstone embedded in it. I didn't notice that. There's only this on the one side. I think I'll make these little swirly things a different subtool like I'm doing with the belt, and then the only trick would be making it look convincing where they combine. I guess in the end I could combine them and then smooth it out. That would work. So I was gonna just use one of these, but it wasn't this edge loop, but it is slightly too small. I can't decide what the best way to do this is. Make like these lines. How I do it is I just like insert one on each side and then scale this edge loop in, and then do some tweaking with like creasing and everything until I get the look that I want that fits whatever I'm working on. But I wonder if there's a better method. It would help if I did the whole edge loop. So that's not... I don't think that's really the look I want for this one. Maybe more like that. Yeah, that's better. Still not quite what I'm looking for. Maybe if I just add some more edge loops. That's always the answer, is just add more edge loops. That's okay. I don't like that. It's not as sharp as the creasing. It feels more natural. More... You know, this part possibly is thicker. By the outline it does look like it's thicker. By the color it's not. So I'm going to say maybe it is a little bit. So I'll make it a bit wider. What are you doing? What is it doing to me? Maybe... I'll delete that edge loop. No, what are you doing? What have I got going on underneath this? That should work. guess I could just extrude it. That would work too. Maybe. So this is what I'm talking about. Why I prefer Maya to ZModeler. I don't know. Maybe it's just user error. That's all right. I'm okay with that. Now let's see if I can recreate it on this side. Just one. I think I had a crease in the top one somewhere. Oh, right in the center. Interesting. I've got some kind of wobbliness, I think. Yeah, it's just because I do here. Probably this mesh is denser than it ought to be. I don't really need all of these edge loops in either direction. I think it'd be more work to clean that up than it would be to just fix these little things. But just for general reference, I went more denser than I needed to. Oh, what's that? Oh, you're doing already? We just started and you're making me stretch already? That's probably good, actually. I've got my PT exercises where I'm supposed to stand up from my computer and do specific stretches every hour, which is awesome. And I set a timer and I say, okay, I'm gonna get up, do the stretches, and have a glass of water every hour. And about 3 hours in every day, I say, I don't want to do this anymore. I start getting into my work. I said, I don't want to get up. I want, wait another half hour. I tell the timer to wait, and I'll do it later. And everything falls apart after that. I'll stretch properly. I'll give it an extra minute. Everyone else has to stretch now too. I'm commanding you all to stretch, because I know you're also sitting at a computer. And you probably all also have back pain and shoulder pain and wrist pain. Do some wrist stretches. Get the carpal tunnel and the tendonitis out of you. If you're not already doing wrist stretches, if you're an artist and you're not already doing wrist stretches, you are condemning yourself and your future to pain and suffering. Alright. Good enough. Fix your posture too. I like the way the top one looks a lot better than the bottom one. Did I add some more edge loops? Yeah. Slightly different. This one's less steeply angled. Let's see if it actually makes a difference. Not really. I'm gonna leave it. And then I just gotta decide how steep I want this angle to be. I'm working with not much. These, overall, the impression I get from the metal bits is that they're thin, you know, they're kind of elegant. And in many ways, a lot of these pieces look more like decoration than protection. So I definitely, for all of them, I want to make them kind of thin. With this one, that matters less because it doesn't have an inside, but thin and like soft. It feels like hammered metal. Like these pieces, I imagine you would make by hammering them. So like kind of ooey gooey. Nothing too like symmetrical or perfect. The whole thing is kind of handmade kind of look. So I'm thinking I don't really want sharp corners like this. Maybe really anywhere. So maybe I will actually uncrease it and just do it with edge loops. Let's see how that looks. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, because I extruded it. Why didn't that happen here? Oh, it did. Duh. It did happen, I just didn't notice. That's why the corner got even sharper than it was before. Yeah, I think that looks better than the crease does. And I could play with these levels until I get something that looks better with the creasing, but I don't really want to do that because I like how it's looking in here. And that just universally applies to all the creases. Oh, let me move on. Come on. This is my other main complaint about ZModeler, is that I'm always clicking the wrong thing, and that is definitely user error. It's probably because I'm trying to do it with my tablet pen. If I switched to mouse, it would be better. Let's fix those poly groups, just because it bothers me when they're weird. No, that's not right. Now I feel like these sections are a little bit too tall. And I also think these corners are too sharp still. And I want it to taper a little bit more. Okay. Cool. But how are you guys all doing? Is anyone working on anything themselves right now? Any cool projects? It doesn't have to be 3D either. Something weird's happening here. I keep masking it and it doesn't mask part of the inside. I know I'm not being very careful with aligning to the edge loops, but it shouldn't be like that. This should be jumping down to there. The fact that it's not when I'm trying to center it tells me it's doing something. Or maybe it's just because I smoothed it? I guess. Okay, whatever. With things like this curve, you always have to ask yourself if that's just a little bit of artistic foreshortening, or if it's actually supposed to be weirdly curved right there. I assume most of the time it's supposed to be foreshortening, but sometimes it doesn't quite make sense. And with this one, like I was saying, it's kind of like a handmade look. So I almost wonder if I do want to put some curves in this instead of just making it like pretty much completely straight. I'm getting distracted, but there's no other way to work other than just getting distracted. If I have to make her wrists a little bit smaller, I think it's okay. Of this also. See, because this is taller or wider, whatever you want to call it. This dimension is bigger in the back than in the front. Just a little tiny bit, but it's enough that, you know, I don't know if that's intentional design and the part of I should actually make it asymmetrical like that, or if it's just the concept artist being quick and fast. And these are the things that always bug me a little bit with working from someone else's concept. I never know exactly what their intention is. And that's just part of it, right? That's totally fine. It's part of it, but you do always wonder. Softer though, still. This won't work, right? Oh, that does work. Wow. That's awesome. Look at this, you can slide edge loops on a concentric circle and it'll actually go... no, that's not... what's the word I'm looking for? You know. It'll scale. That's so cool. Okay, ZModeler has some good perks. It's got some redeeming qualities, let's say that. That's pretty cool. So we got the first real, like, full frost this morning. I mean, last night, but when I woke up this morning, the grass was all white. It was very cold. I still have screens in my windows, so I'm not really prepared for the cold. I'm currently, like, wrapped in a blanket. Because I'm just not, I haven't got my winter clothes ready or anything, but it's definitely upon us, and I know it's cold for where I live a lot sooner than for a lot of people, but it's definitely upon us. I'm kind of happy about that, actually. I really don't care for the cold too much, but like last week it was close to 80 Fahrenheit, which for October is pretty freaky where I live. So it's just like having it be the proper temperature for October now, just like at least it feels normal, even if it's not necessarily pleasant. It's like, yes, this is the temperature it should be. It's nice. It's nice when something is normal. I see it, it tapers quickly here, then kind of stops. We've got taper here and a point here, and then kind of a curve. Then pretty straight, and then a little bit of a. We got a bit of a lump here, just for the. I don't know what you call that, the cuff. Band, I don't know, whatever. But the point is, I want to get a little bit of that bump, and then also, actually, yeah. Is that the same on this side too? Sort of. I think it's kind of following the natural contours of the arm. Maybe not so much with skinny wrists like this. I get a little bit. Where the fat and the muscle kind of taper also, and there is a little bit of a point somewhere along the arm where it kind of all ends, and you just have a bit of bony wrist before you get to the hand. I think that's more common. I'm trying to think where you see that. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's what it's kind of. So I just want to replicate that. Look at what they're going for, even if I don't quite understand the concept. You can see it. You can almost see it here. I think I might be just imagining it because I'm expecting it there. Really see it in the muscle. Maybe it's more of something with the fat distribution in the muscle. I'm definitely overthinking it. I'm way overthinking this. But this is also where the fun comes in, like getting precise curves. I don't know, I think it's fun. This is also pretty different, so here this actually pulls out. I guess it kind of does. You could say it does. I can make it do whatever I want. What are they gonna do? Stop me? I'm just kind of doing it. I'm doing it with Z Modeler because I want to do it all the way around evenly, but at some point after I get this in, I'll want to switch to regular brushes and then like make it a little uneven because I don't want it to be perfectly even. I just want the base to be perfectly even. I think this taper here is too dramatic too. So I'm trying to relearn Blender right now. For a job that prefers Blender to Maya, and it is rough. I haven't worked in Blender in a while, and relearning things like the selection is different. If you select vertices, like say I was looking at a model from this view and I just like do a selection like that, it'll select all these vertices, but it won't select any of these. So it only selects visible vertices. And oh man, that completely changes my workflow. I assume there's a way to change that. I haven't bothered to figure it out yet, because there's a million other things I'm trying to figure out how to do first. But that really makes a big difference in how I work. I didn't realize how big a difference it made until I went and tried to work with Blender, and it's like every single step I was stalled because so much of my selection my workflow in general has to do with selection, and so much of my selection has to do with assuming I can select the back-facing side. And of course I would forget that it's not working too, so I would start doing whatever I was trying to do with that selection, and then it wouldn't work, and I'd get all confused every single time. So I gotta figure that one out. There must be a way to change it. I'm sure there is. Probably even just a simple change in the preferences. But I'm glad ZBrush works like Maya. I think that's absolutely insane. Why would it not select the ones you can't see? I don't know, maybe there are people who like it. If someone here likes that, you know, feel free to yell at me. Maybe there's an advantage I can't think of. I think it's a bit crazy though. I'm gonna delete, maybe, delete this one, and this one, and then scale this in a bit, because I don't like that angle. Getting somewhere there. It's starting to look lumpy in the way I want it to look, rather than lumpy in the way I don't want it to look. I've got the right lumpiness now. Close to the right lumpiness anyway. Oh, I kind of like that. What if I make this a bit sharper on both sides, and then make everything else looser? That's alright. I do want to keep... Oh, I see. Okay, these are inverted. I need to delete this one and put it on the other side. I knew something was slightly different about these two, but I couldn't figure out what. This is way wider now. like that. I feel like that has more of the feeling that the concept has. I think a bird just hit the window. Maybe it was a really big leaf. I'm gonna say it was a really big leaf. The windows are all like frosted over, so I would be surprised. I'd actually be surprised. I'm not just saying that to feel better. They're pretty clearly not something you can go through. Oh, that's better. Okay. So I need to make the arm a little bit skinnier, maybe? Or I can make it asymmetrical. I was trying to really avoid making the arm asymmetrical, but I'm making enough changes to it to fit the wrist guard that maybe I should. I'd really rather not, though. Maybe I'll just do a tiny tweak and see how it looks. Yeah, that's fine. That's barely anything. No one knows that. Alright. I might be happy with that. Nice. Let's get it all together. Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. My best work yet. What happened? Why is nothing else supposed to... Oh. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's just measure it to the rest of the arm. Just make sure. Over here, and into the wrist here. Just above halfway. Looks good to me. It looks like just above halfway. It's actually measured. Sometimes I've got my ruler here. I'll actually hold it up to the screen, which I know isn't perfect because we've got like perspective and all that, but it gets the job done a lot of the time. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright. It's an awesome ruler too. You can't really see it, but it's like, it's Star Wars Episode 1 ruler I've had for as long as I can remember. Passed down to me by my brother. I used to be really annoying about that ruler in college. Anytime anyone needed a ruler, I would always have it with me, of course. Anytime anyone needed a ruler, I would whip it out and make them say the whole the whole name, you know, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace Ruler, and then they could use it. Needless to say, I was very popular in college. Everyone loved that bit. Sometimes I think it's ridiculous that modeling one character could take so long. Like, I must be just wasting time. I must be goofing off and not realizing it. And then I realize I've spent an hour just refining this cup. I didn't even start it today. I already had it here. I already had it mostly proportioned out, and that alone takes an hour. It could probably be faster, but it's not like I was goofing around. I was paying close attention the whole time. You could definitely argue I was being too nitpicky, though. Some of these nits needn't be picked. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have any reference from the side, but I kind of like the idea of giving it a bit of a curve here, like a swooping curve, sort of back and forth like that. That emphasizes the path of the wrist. Maybe not quite so much here. Yeah. Let's do some extracting. So we're looking at the inside of the wrist here. I gotta remember that. And I could possibly apply my dynamic subdivision now. That will make extracting easier, because I can mask right now my masking is, let's go pen. It's pretty pixelated. I could apply it and extract it and undo it just in case. That's what I like to do that way. So now I can mask this out, I can extract it, and I can go back to the base subtool and undo until my dynamic subdivision is back, and that way I'll have the best of both worlds. This is taking up about a third, maybe a little more. like this music. I hope you guys can still hear it. This is pretty fun. I mean, it's just like generic royalty-free music, but it is some of the best generic royalty-free music I've heard. I try very hard to avoid the AI-generated music and the, I don't know, in general, the lo-fi's, what is that one video called? I don't really care for the lo-fi stuff. It's just like, okay, there's more of that. I'm actually gonna extract this all as a big blob. I changed my mind. I think maybe 2 separate blobs though. That's okay. I keep my extracting tools down here because I use them enough that it's annoying to go and get them. This is actually pretty thick. Not that thick though. That might work. I don't know what this does. I thought it... Oh, it does smooth it. Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. That works. Okay, so now I will go back and undo until... I am gonna have to extract a second one, but I just like to keep it like this. This way, you know, I'm saving it constantly. I know this is at a safe place where if it crashes and shuts down and I lose all my undo history, I know that's going to be exactly where I want it to be. So I don't like to leave anything in a precarious undo history stage. ZBrush does not crash for me often, but occasionally it will. It's almost always my fault. I do something stupid. I don't realize I've subdivided an 80 million poly subtool and I accidentally hit Control D and blow up my computer. Definitely my fault, but still it does happen. Oh, that's terrible. Is this spiraling? I don't think it is. Awesome. My least favorite thing about Z-Remesher is when it creates a spiral where it looks like it has all these, you know, it looks like you've got all these edge loops and you can easily clean it up, but then it turns out it's actually one edge loop spiraling in on itself that connects someplace weird, like maybe in this bizarre quad. But it's not doing that this time. At least not there. It might be doing it somewhere else and I haven't noticed. That's good enough, I guess. We shall see if it's good enough. here. This one might not actually be a point though, it might just be the spot where it wraps around from view. But I guess I'll treat it as a point. Because I can do whatever I want. Always. I'm not going to worry about keeping it clean right now. I just want a general idea of where the spiral is going to go. And I can think about it more. Actually, I think I want to get the other spiral in before I go any further, because that'll help me figure out proportions and stuff. It might be a bit thick, I'm not sure. So apply it again. Try this guy out. It comes up just above the second bottom point, or I guess the first one. And it kind of ends just below the halfway point of the full thing. And so I think I'm a little too low down. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Just below the halfway point. The halfway point's like here. Still need a tail. Kind of like this. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why. I really love this. I love drawing out a mask and doing the extractions and fixing the extraction topology. For some reason, that is just... that's one of my favorite parts of really the whole process. I was going to say in ZBrush, but honestly with the whole full modeling process, it's just a blast. It feels like a coloring book, kind of paint by numbers sort of thing. Okay, I've already done the hard work. I've already done the difficult part of sculpting and getting the 3D shape right. Now I just have to draw on top of it. I feel like this is maybe too short and fat. I want it to be a bit longer. Because that point pretty much happens right in that crease. So this goes up a little bit more. And it tapers a little. And who knows what's happening on this side. I'm gonna have to just make it up. Actually, out of curiosity, what is this? Oh, there's another one back here. Damn. Okay. That's probably what this lump is. That's straight. And I don't want this one to be as thick. Sure. So I did those a bit differently. So I'm trying to decide which way works better. I like keeping the groups and smoothing them. That works really well for if you're extracting something that has a right angle in it, like if you were, I'm not sure if there are any examples in this model. Oh, I just had an idea. Damn, I might need to change how I did the mask. But that's really unrelated. Well, anyway, I like to usually do it the way I did it, where I keep groups and turn on smoothing groups, and it makes a 90-degree angle, but very smooth on the two combined sides, which isn't what I'm going for here, but maybe that gives me a cleaner topology than this one did, where it had all of those subdivisions, whereas making these really long rectangles that I had to clean up. I feel like I mean, ultimately, it's really pretty much the same, but maybe this way is slightly faster where I don't have to clean it up so much manually. Of course, now it's all compressed, smoothed down, flattened. I don't know. How do I want to get those spirals? I'm gonna get nice clean spirals. That's the real question. I mean, maybe the answer is just subdivided enough. Don't worry about topology. Extremely nasty. That quad there is doing me no favors. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking. I need to fix it. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and I keep thinking, oh, I'm gonna do something about that, and then do I? No. Hopefully the mic is filtering it out. I was on a call with someone the other day where there was very loud hammering and construction happening right outside my window. I could barely hear them. I could barely hear myself think. And it wasn't, they said they couldn't hear that at all, but they could very clearly and distinctly hear my chair creaking. It just, that made me so mad. But that was Discord, and I think Discord does some of its own audio filtering. So I'm gonna blame Discord and hope that's not happening the same way on all my audio test stuff. Whatever. I'll move on to the next final piece. Ah, see, I did what I said I don't do. I left it subdivided. Great. So this piece, this guy, goes up more in the back, and then makes space for the third spiral. I'm gonna have to fudge it a little bit because it doesn't quite make sense what it's doing here. That's okay. Basically, we have a spiral there, and then the tail goes around and up and ends. It just kind of smooths into the cuff right at the top. So I don't want it sticking out beyond like this, but I do want it going right to the end. And then I will sculpt it at some point. But see, I can't make it that small, so let's say that's not a full, let's say it's more like that, maybe, I don't know. Oh, actually, wait, yeah, it is. Kind of. All the way, 180 degrees, all the way around. And so this guy kind of follows it, I think, but then comes out over here. Looking at the halfway point again, which is about here. So I'm right on track. Nice. I love it when the proportions I measure, that I eyeball, match the proportions that I measure. I think that's probably the best feeling in the world. Not having to go back and fix it, and also knowing that you are actually a bit of a competent artist. You do know what you're doing, maybe. Pretty cool. I'm not sure about the spiral, though. I guess it's just in shadow. It's a normal one that's in shadow, so maybe a thin tail here, and then squarish. Oh, shoot. That's pretty bad. I actually think the other one was better. No, that also sucks. I guess I could try dynamashing it. But I want to smooth it first. What if I dynamesh it first and then smooth it? I gotta keep trying things until I have a nice method for this. Oh, Dynamesh does have... I'm not sure if that does what I think it's gonna do, though. Kind of. You don't need to keep the groups. You're gonna do it anyway, even though I told you not to. That's fine. Because there's smoothness and polish. I don't know the difference. That looks like the same thing to me. Maybe that's just something I can... Oh wait, does it say? The blur slider will control how much of smooth Dynamesh will receive when the project button is enabled. Oh, it only works as a projection. Okay, and then polish. This is not telling me what polish does, it's telling me what the tool palette is. Alright. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna assume it just does what it says it does and nothing more complex than that. I don't know if that's better than Z remesh. This spiral is wonky. There's something wrong here. That shouldn't be there. I'm gonna take some artistic liberty. I know it's not good to experiment like this with different topology with each one, because now they're going to be coming out slightly different. And I think I'm going to regret doing a Dynamesh. Alright, let's do Z remesher again. It just needs a bit more technology. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Point 2. I didn't like the 3,000, or is that 300? Because 1 is 1,000, so this is just 200. I felt like it was a little bit too dense, so I want something in between. That's alright. I think that's the best I can do. Or the best it can do anyway. Why did it polish it so much? Oh, I'd already... Oh, hold on. Okay, it's not great, but it might work. I done? Let's just try and change the brush. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. Okay, ignoring the blobbiness. Do I like this silhouette? It's way lower down here. But I think that's just wrong. That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna ignore that. Of course, I do want it to get thicker here and taper off there, which I started doing, but could definitely do a bit more of. Sort of like that. That's better. Oops. is terrible. I don't like that at all. That doesn't make sense. Maybe I've misread this. I think maybe that's not a point where it curves. Maybe that's just where it wraps around. Now it looks like it goes straight here. Now that angle is just so unpleasant. I know. Maybe I'll just put that one. I'll just leave that back there and work on the sculpting for now. This is a more interesting puzzle. It's actually pretty thick there. It's kind of like it gets to the highest point at the end and then quickly fades away. trying to decide if it would be worth it to retopologize this to get a really clean spiral. It's not bad right now. Maybe I just need to subdivide it some more and give it some time. Give it a chance. It would be so clean if I just did a spiral topology. Which would take longer, which would result in a better final product. It's really hard to say. If I wanted like a really clean, crisp thing, I would definitely be retopologizing this. I would have already done it. But since it's kind of so blobby and organic, it feels less necessary, which is why I haven't done it yet. But I might still want to do it. I don't know. I can't decide. I also don't like this. I thought maybe putting a ridge right in the center would look good, and it doesn't. It does not look good. Let's smooth that out. So we're getting some really annoying pinching there too that I'm not going to be able to clean up with the current topology, no matter how much I subdivide. In fact, the more I subdivide, the worse it's going to get. Kind of. I'll probably retopologize them. I've been struggling with this with sorry, I switched to my mouse and that ends my train of thought. Close back. All of these guys, all of these extraction bits. I mean, you can see I kind of extracted it and started sculpting it and then gave up because I just couldn't quite decide. I gotta do it here too. The reason I haven't done those ones yet is because I feel like there's something still proportionally wrong with the neck and this piece. They're not bad. This piece is a little too wide. I can see that clearly right now. But the space here, I don't want this, so I don't want this to get any wider this way. And if I pull this bit back, this is going to get too wide, because it's already a little bit too wide. But maybe this guy can come up more. Oh, so what I was talking about earlier, you can see how I've made the mask. I didn't do the edges at all. I was planning on extracting, like masking out something like that around all of it, and extracting a separate subtool for this so that I can make it really clean and not worry about it here. But now that I've used edge loops to make these cuff things, and I did the same thing somewhere. Oh, kind of the same thing on, I don't know, it was either the belt or the neck. I think maybe I should do it here too so that it's stylistically cohesive. It's going to be tricky though because I don't have the topology. Oh, actually I kind of do. I kind of do have the topology for it. On the other hand, is it worth it? Is it really going to look that different if I have separate poly? Sorry, not poly. Subtool? Probably not. It'll have a really crisp line, right, where the two of them conjoin. There will be a really crisp line, less or more crisp than I have here. So it'll be slightly different. But when it's when it's all said and done, I'm going to be these are just normals that I'm going to be baking. For both of these, the final low poly retopology is going to be one piece, and it's the difference between a single subtool crease and the combination of two subtools really going to look that different in a baked normal map. From remembering that when you played the game, if theoretically if she were in the game, she would look about like this. I gotta keep remembering that. I need some perspective. Get some perspective, Samson. I need to just work faster. That's what I need to do. Stop second guessing things. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it a separate subtool. It's fine. It's great. It's fine to be putting this much thought into it because there's no deadline for this. But if there were a deadline for this, it would be telling me to cut it out. Also, where do my dots go? Because what I should be doing instead of worrying about stuff like that is fixing the damn hair. But I don't want to. It's scary. Now, an inconsistency that I actually do think needs fixing is between these two guys here. I think they're both dynamics. Yeah. Let's look at those. I was just noticing this as I was booting it up today. There's... So for both of them... Oh, wait, is that not true? What did I do here? Yeah, it's two separate pieces. So I just made them in Maya, just threw them together really quickly and positioned them. So this one has what would generally be considered a pretty bad bezel, like if we were actually talking about... I'm treating these like they're cabochons, so this, I guess, technically is like glass and it looks like it has some liquid in it, so I'm treating it like it would be a gemstone inside metal bezel. And when you're doing that, you want the edge of this here. Let me crease this two rows. Oh my god, not the polys. Work with me, please. All of them. All of them. All of them. That bit right there, you want it to be basically touching the gemstone, as close as you can get before the metal actually gets so thin that it starts scraping off. That's the point. That's too far. So a higher quality cabochon setting is closer to the gemstone. You want like pretty much as thin as you can get it. So that's pretty much what I did here, and maybe that's the difference. It's just that crease. Yeah, I do have a crease here. And so I'm fighting between what I know is actually like a better quality item in real life versus what matches the overall style better. And so I ended up with one way and the other way. There's still less of a gap on this one. What's going on? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So maybe let's just start. Because the gap looks nice. I think the gap 3D world actually looks nicer. So maybe that makes the decision for me. Oh, come on. We're working a minute ago. It's so strange. Fine. It's gonna work. No. Is it nice? decided it's gonna stop. Oh, maybe it's because that's on. No. Fine. There we go. This one's also a lot softer than this one, so I probably got an extra edge or something. No? Oh. It's shallower. What is happening? Why is this one so difficult? I feel like I need to delete the history and freeze transformations, but I can't do that. I'm surely doing something stupid. Insert edge loop. Insert edge loop. Do not crease. Let's try it. What if I do one multiple? Okay, it just really doesn't want to edge loop. Well, why don't I split these guys then? There we go. Wasn't happy when I'm trying to add them. While they were one subtool, I combined them just to make it easier bringing them over from Maya. Did that make a difference? This one still has more gap. Maybe the gemstone is just okay. Yeah, that curve around is really nice. It gives it a bit of a highlight, and then the dip into ambient occlusion land. That adds a lot. I still feel like this is when it's too dewy though. What is different about them? Oh, this one's a right angle. That's probably it. It's also an actual circle where I think the other one... That shouldn't make a difference. Yeah. Okay. Duh. Yeah, that's obvious now. Now I'm looking at it. Oh, can't believe that works. I don't really care if this part is in the wrong spot because it's going to be completely covered up, so I guess I'll just let it be like that. Alright, now it's okay. Yes! It's still too thin though. This one's got a thicker bezel. This one now that it's got a sharper angle, it's significantly thinner. Fix that pretty easily. Maybe. Why do you do this to me? Oh no, that's not good at all. No, I don't want that. Okay. I don't think this will work, but let's give it a try. It's actually not bad. Yeah. Hey, we're getting somewhere. The other question is how thick are these gems? Are they, like, this one I'm kind of imagining it as a half circle. Because if they got a whole liquid, they must be thicker than just like a regular cabochon. So oh. This is what I ended up with, but that's significantly bigger than this. I think it would look better if they were more or less the same, so maybe I should also make this one bigger. It's probably not going to work. Oh no, it's kind of blobby. I don't know, I'll have to miss that. It's not bad. It's kind of cool. Maybe I could just do it by hand. I don't need it to be like perfectly even and symmetrical and everything. I mean, for one thing, it's not. It's crooked in the belt. Oh, and look at that! I have so much more. Yeah, these proportions aren't right at all. This needs to be much thicker. Yikes! How did I miss that? All right, well, just a little more of what I was already doing. Eventually I'm gonna start hitting topology. If I need to make enough edits, it'll be worth going back to the original file and actually adjusting it like in Maya. But right now, I think I can get away with just tweaking it. And now it's all blobby again for some reason. Yay, that's better. These almost, but based on the reflection, may actually be the cross section might be. Let's go. If this is the side view, the cross section might be more like this, rather than how I have it, where it's. Oh, actually, wait. Hold on. Even more than that. So here's the gem. be just like straight, where I have it, here's the gem, and then it's kind of a curve there. Just because looking at the highlights, they don't taper at all, they're pretty much straight until they get to the top, which means I think it probably is straight. Well, if I do want to make that change, I will probably do it in Maya, because that'll be a bit harder to do by hand. I'm going to leave it for now, and see if I feel about it. Now this still looks wrong. The proportions of this whole situation are wrong. What's going on here? It's funny right now where it's not metal, it looks like one of those collars with the, I think you would have one of those, what do you call those, with the little portrait carving, a cameo, and then this is like a ruffled collar. Very, I mean, I guess it's really not that far from that anyway, but since you can't tell that it's metal yet, I don't have anything to indicate that it's metal. It's kind of coming across that way. Okay, so if I make that thinner, ignoring the negative space here, that's wrong. Is the gemstone the right size is the question. I almost feel like this one, the bezel needs to be thinner. So it's, if you look at the concept, this bezel is actually thicker than this one. So I had the opposite of how it should have been. Now they're pretty much even. This one might be a bit thinner. What a nice color. That poly group is such a nice shade of red. I really like that. I think I've been modeling for too long if I'm starting to admire the poly groups. That's terrible. I hate that. At least with them next to each other. That's no good. I might change this so that I kind of adapted this where I've got a stepping down pattern, so it looks like they're actually overlapping each other, which doesn't really happen in the concept. You can't really tell what's going on by the concept. It's just, there's just not enough detail. It makes sense for them to be layered like that. I think I did that in the belt too. Yeah. But it's technically not what's happening. I wonder if that's why I'm not happy with it. Maybe it's just too tall. Hey, yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. Nice. No. So for this guy, I completely forgot about this second piece underneath it. And once I add that extra subtool trim, that will also make it different. So I can adjust it. I can take some liberties there to make all that negative space work again. Okay, I think right now I'm going to stop. That was... Well, there's not really any noticeable changes from a distance. You can't really see much different, but I don't know. I'm happy with the work anyway, even if it looks super slow. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy whatever weather you have. Unless it's cold, then don't be grumpy about it. Allow yourself some time to be grumpy about it. Yeah, I don't know. Go have fun. Try to take a real break. And make friends. Alright. I will see y'all on Monday. Alright, bye-bye.